Okay, hello again everyone. So I wanted to do a follow-up video because there was a lot of uncertainty around the last video that I did about distortion weapons, but in short, I tested the repeaters, the cannons, the sucker punches, and I also tested the scatterguns, right? So the reason that I tested all three types is because I wanted to see if there was a difference, right? But one of the things that I noticed is that from the feedback from y'all, YouTube comments, Reddit posts, it's kind of pointing. Sorry, it's not kind of pointing. It's looking like you have to be very specific in where you're shooting on the ship. And so what I wanted to do is do a follow-up test here, and a more specific follow-up test. So if I turn this thing over like this, and you see on the bottom of the ship, you can actually see there are panels, right? And those panels open up the component bays, as well as on the very front of the ship. On the front of the nose there. So, and then there's one other section which is kind of, if I were to get out of the seat here and then show you, you've got another section right here in the back of the ship, and you can see the components as well. And so this testing is going to be a lot more specific. And what I want to do is I want to test shooting into specific areas on the ship with the different types of weapons. I want to really get rid of this this misleading information where it's related to the weapon itself or the area on the ship. And so I want to just kind of get some more finite testing here. So anyways, I am going to use the saber, and so I've got the sucker punches XLs on here, as well as the repeaters. And we're also going to try sub-targeting. So that's main engine. Let's see. Yeah, so it looks like all we can target is the main engine. Let's see if we can get any more. Yep, no, that's it. That's all we can get is main engine for sub-targeting. But anyways, so just real quick, it looks like it's wanting us to shoot back here. So I'm just going to try and get in alignment of the... okay, so we're going to try the repeaters. And again, I just wanted to test the sub-targeting here. A little bit below. A little above. Okay. So that doesn't look like that's doing anything. Other than obviously lowering the shield. So let's try the sucker punches.
Shields at full strength.
And again, we'll go a little bit above. And a little bit below. Okay. So that's not doing anything in here. So let's get this heat menu up here. But okay, so now, all right, just tested sub-targeting. That's not giving us any increase in being able to, or any help on, at least on the 125A, on being able to shut it down. So I'm gonna drop target, reselect. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to aim towards the top here on the 125A, where those components are towards the back. All right, and we're going to test the repeaters, or sorry, sucker punches. So I'm trying to hit that area up top on the ship. So yeah, the ship is definitely shut offline. Okay, there it comes back up. Give it a second to recoup itself. Come on. Alright, looks like it's back to normal there. Okay. Now we're going to try the repeaters. Still just looks like it's just hitting yeah, it doesn't look like the repeaters are actually... Yep. So, okay, so it doesn't look like the repeaters are shutting it down. One more test here. And let's try the cannons again one more time. It's definitely, the cannons are definitely messing with it.
Shield under attack. Refreshing shields. Shields at full strength.
And it's not shutting it down again, but it's looking like it wants to, though. So,
Shield under attack. Shields at full strength.
that's funny how I was able to shut it down that one time, but not now. Let me aim a little bit further back. Maybe I'm not hitting it enough.
Shield under attack. Refreshing shields. Shields at full strength.
Yep. So, okay. So yeah, so it's very apparent here that the repeaters are not disabling it or causing possibly enough distortion damage. But it's funny even after continued fire. So, but then we're going to try the underside of the wing here. Whoa, that's really bright. Wait for the ship to kind of recover itself. Okay. All right. Trying the cannons again. And again, I'm targeting those the component sections.
Shields at full strength. Refreshing shields.
Nope, doesn't look like that's doing anything. Alright, now let's test the repeaters. Turn of the ship, that's for sure.
Shield under attack.
Yeah.
Refreshing shields.
So, yeah, and then just kind of for giggles here, let's see what happens if we target that QT drive up front.
Depleted. Refreshing shields. Shields at full strength.
And that's not doing anything. Okay, so now let's try the cannons on the nose there. And not doing anything. So yeah, that definitely confirms that you can't just randomly shoot at the ships. You gotta hit a specific spot on that ship, which is just confirming what everyone in the community is saying. So, but anyways, let's get another ship out here and continue testing. Now, we're going to do the same testing that I did before, but only difference this time is I'm actually going to look for a specific spot on the ship to target, as the community has been advocating. So we're going to do the same test here, and to be more specific, we're going to target this area on the ship right here, power plant access. So first things first, we're going to try the repeaters.
Head shields under fire.
That is not the repeaters. Sorry. Those were...
Engines.
And look at that. Repeater shut it down really quick. Alright, let's see if I can power cycle it. So R. No. Try again. Oh, there we go. Got power back.
2 engines. Shields up.
Okay. So the repeaters worked. And let's try... Well, I'm assuming if the repeaters worked, I'm assuming that the sucker punches are going to work. But let's just try it again here. Okay. Make sure...
Head shield under fire. Low power. 2 engines.
And look at that.
Low power to weapon systems.
So yes, this just confirms that, you know, as the community was saying, yeah, I was not hitting that one sweet spot. So I could see how if you were using distortion weapons and you were just kind of spamming your target, that eventually, you know, you're going to end up hitting that spot. See if I can power it back on there. There we go.
Shields up. Low power.
Okay, so Gladius is definitely confirmed. So I wanted to include this one just because it was the testing was interesting. So I spent, and I kid you not, upwards of 10 minutes circling around this thing, getting out, EVAing around the ship, looking for the components, and maybe this is one of the rare, you know, the rare cases here, but I was unable to shut this ship down. Just could not do it. Now this is a totally stock ship, but I find it interesting that this is the one so far in my testing that has just kind of stopped me dead in my tracks. And yeah, I figured I wanted to keep it in here just because I mean, just couldn't shut this thing down. And I mean, I went granularly. I pretty much split this thing up in a grid, went from the bottom, the top, the sides, like all the way around it. And I mean, my hand actually hurts from holding down left and right click for so long and trying to shut this thing down. So this is the only one that I just literally just could not shut down. So okay, so this one was interesting, and I wanted to make sure that I included this in here because what I found out was so after doing the Saber Raven, I wanted to get a normal Saber out and see if I was able to shut this one down. And here's the interesting thing. So if you look at this back part of the ship here, or actually let me, on this side, so right, so kind of right here in the center of the screen where I have it focused on the back section of the tail, if you shoot there, now you can hit a power plant. The problem is that this ship has 2 power plants, and I have spent probably another 10 minutes here circling around the ship and trying to see if I can get both of the power plants to hit here. But the interesting thing is I can only ever get one of these power plants. This second one here, I can never seem to touch. It's almost like it's further inside the ship or what have you. So anyways, I wanted to show that, and I've tested this between both, you know, cannons and repeaters. Doesn't matter what I'm shooting it with, but you'll start to see the build-up here. And there you can see it right there, sonic light, and you can see it. the distortion damage, essentially how much it can take. So that power plant is shut off right now, but you see the other one just picking up the slack. So I'm wondering if you know, I think that this just may be kind of like a, I don't know, a technical. Sorry, the other one, for whatever reason, I cannot hit, and I have spent a considerable amount of time on both of these Saber ships. So as far as PvP is concerned, it's just kind of another pin in the Saber's hat of being, you know, one of the top contenders as far as dogfighting ships. So having 3 size 1 shields and 4 size 3 hard points. So, but anyways, I just wanted to make sure I added that in here. How about the blade? Now let's test the arrow.
Forward hit. Weapon system. Engines. Hello.
2 hits.
Hello.
2 hits with the cannons. Okay, right on the nose, and it just took it down. Still waiting for power to come back up. There we go.
Shields full. Engines. Hello.
Okay. Now let's try the repeaters.
Forward hit.
Yep, repeaters work too.
Shields. Hello.
Well, as usual, the game decided when I would stop playing by snatching the ship out from underneath me while I was flying. So, I guess testing stops here. But, okay, so here's my take on distortion weapons after some additional testing. Distortion weapons do have the ability to shut down ships, taking into consideration you hit one of the physicalized components. I do think it's a good idea to run a mixed loadout because it helps reduce high shield regen rates due to the increased DPS against shields, and you get the added benefit of possibly crippling the opponent's ship. So anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed this video and found it informative.